Cholera, the disease of war and poverty caused by lack of access to basic sanitation. This overburdened clinic in southern Afghanistan is ill-equipped to handle the hundreds of patients who present themselves, suffering the symptoms of dehydration and listlessness. Young mothers sit by their malnourished children, often place two to a bed, and lament the food shortages that make even stale bread and cooking oil scarce.
For the last 3 or 4 nights, we haven't had a proper warm meal. Before it was better, we could find things to eat. Now there is nothing.
The poor people are squashed under the Taliban's feet. I have not received anything from the aid that came to Afghanistan. I hope the previous government returns and we can have a good life and find food. We are exhausted, we are weak and facing a lot of problems.
We have a lot of patients, the patient that come in critical time, the patient come arrive in the hospital. When we ask from the caretaker, when your patient become like this, say that 3 days ago, we asked why you, on the time you didn't come to hospital, yeah? They said because we didn't have any money to reach ourselves to the hospital.
Aid organizations have been grappling with how to relieve the humanitarian crisis when donor countries do not recognize the regime in power. Poverty in the country has been exacerbated by drought, and food supplies made even more scarce by the war in Ukraine. Though the country was suffering long before the hasty U.S. pullout, the Taliban takeover pushed Afghanistan over the edge as the U.S. froze $7 billion in assets and foreign funding stopped overnight. Many organizations are hesitant to channel funds, fearful of misuse.
We didn't have information from the aid coming in previously, but there were lots of problems as some of the aid would disappear. Sometimes, instead of giving aid to the Directorate of Public Health, the governor's office and the ministry had deals on it. Now, we have ensured transparency on this topic.
Back at the rundown clinic in Musakala, doctors have been getting by on little sleep. Ironically, the end of the fighting meant an influx of patients.
Previously, the roads were blocked, so now that they are open and the security has been established, we have more people visiting our facilities.
This is the very large amount of the patients. So we take the decision to stop the other services and to control the acute watery diarrhea and cholera patients because of space wars.
After battling for control for over 2 decades, the Taliban now has its Islamic Emirate, but it rules over a people more afflicted than ever.